maybe you are expats living abroad in Slovakia, or maybe you just want your kids to be studying in an English-speaking and taught school. So then what are the options? So this is why today we will be discussing that in full.
If you want to run any school in Slovakia, of course, you need to be accredited. Even there are some where you can study in German, so Deutsche Schule, Bratislava, or even in French. Because some of these schools, they basically have the full program from the kindergarten until the
So they have everything
school.
In one place.
So you can start at 3 and you can finish at 18. Usually these international schools, they follow the either the A-levels structure of the UK or the US type of the education. So basically, there's one special secondary school that I want to mention, which is Live Academy. In Košice, there are just two schools. One is International School of Košice.
Hey there guys, welcome to this amazing episode where we are going to discuss a bit more about the family side of studying abroad, because people are always wondering, what if I don't want to focus on university, but I want to bring my kids into primary schools and secondary schools here? Maybe you are expats living abroad in Slovakia, or maybe you just want your kids to be studying in an English-speaking and taught school. So then what are the options? So this is why today we will be discussing that in full. And I'm going to hand it over to Peter to give us a bit more of an understanding. What kind of education can we achieve here? Does it start from kindergarten or from primary school? So Peter, I'm going to ask you for the first question. In terms of English taught schools, so using the English system almost, what are the options here for families when they want to bring their kids into schools here? Can it start as early as kindergarten, or does it need to be from primary school?
Yeah, so basically in Slovakia you have three levels of the schools. So first let's start with the kindergarten. Mm-hmm. That's usually 3 to 6 years.
Okay.
Then you continue in the primary school. There are basically two models, but for the English schools it's more common that you will attend 8 years or 9 years of the primary school. Yep. And then finally you will go for the secondary school, which is usually 4 years.
Okay, cool. So then that covers basically the entire education up until university, and they can obviously pursue that here or anywhere else, wherever they see fit.
Exactly.
Regarding the kindergarten and the primary school, is it a case of there are institutions that have everything inbuilt, or are they different institutions and different locations? Do you know anything about the locations?
So I did research. Basically, it's private institutions, okay, but they are accredited by the government.
Oh, nice.
If you want to run any school in Slovakia, of course, you need to be accredited. So in this case, the kindergarten, primary, secondary schools, they're located, as per my knowledge, in two cities, which is in Košice and Bratislava. Okay. There are maybe 15 to 20 institutions in Bratislava. In Košice, there are 2 to 3 institutions.
Okay, so it's a lot more popular in places like Bratislava, which is understandable, because obviously we're in the second city at the moment in Košice. But then I guess the main question that everybody's going to ask is, this probably isn't cheap. So when we discuss the fees and the structure around how much it might be, is there a fee structure that you have in mind? And I'm guessing that there is a difference maybe between those that are in Bratislava and those that are here. So could you give us a bit more of a breakdown with those, the fee structures? Okay,
so I did a small research. Firstly, we can start with the kindergarten that are in Bratislava. So there, you can study basically. It's usually around 1,000 per 1 month. Okay. So, for example, QSI, which is part of the international brand of the QSI schools, that's 12,000 euros for 1 year. Mm-hmm. English International School of Bratislava, that's 11,000 per kid. In Košice it's a little bit cheaper. In Košice, there are two schools, Košice International School, which is 480, and without scholarship is 580 per month. You can also qualify for some discounts. For example, if you have 2-3 kids, if you put also second, third kids to the school, you get some small discount from the tuition fees. or if you pay all the fees at the beginning of the year, also you will get some discount. What is usually included is that you get like full-time program. Usually starts from 7 or 7:30 until 5 to 6 p.m. So the staff is speaking English, because you can imagine these schools are, let's say, for the high managers' kids, or maybe for the embassy staff,
of course, yeah.
people. So they take care of them. So they speak English, educational activities, learning materials. So this is quite common. Just to mention some few kindergartens in Bratislava. Galileo School Bratislava, Cambridge International School, King's School International. So plenty of option in Bratislava. Even there are like some where you can study in German, so Deutsche Schule Bratislava, or even in French. So that's quite
lots of options there. I think one thing for me that you've mentioned there, and it stands out. It's basically half the cost if they come to Košice, right? Than it is to Bratislava. Obviously, it depends where you're based, but it looks like there's a great opportunity for those that do have the flexibility between the two. That if you want to make a big saving, you could come to the likes of Košice, which has half the price here. Is that kind of the typical fee structure also when it comes to the primary school and then the secondary element, or does it tend to increase quite a lot?
Okay, so for the primary school, I can mention, for example, again, because some of these schools, they basically have the full program from the kindergarten until the
They have everything in one place.
So you can start at 3 and you can finish at 18. Like
nice.
You can study over the years. Basically here in Bratislava, the range of the tuition fees is usually between 12 to 25,000 euros per year. I can mention, for example, the British International School of Bratislava. So that's like one of the oldest school, not only in Bratislava but in all Slovakia. They have over 770 students from more than 45 countries.
Wow!
So I suppose like definitely the embassy staff, kids, or managerial employees definitely put the kids into this school. And usually these international schools, they follow either the A levels structure of the UK or the US type of the education. So basically, you finish the school and you can get like A levels, IB, similar like that.
I think that's very important, because people are usually worried, like, what is my kid going to learn and what structure and standard is it at? I think it really segues perfectly into the universities here as well, because a lot of the university degrees here are recognised in the rest of the EU, they're recognised in the UK and the USA as well. So as you said, it's from 3 to 18, but technically you could have your child going from 3 all the way through to the degree level, right? So exactly. And that's obviously things that you cover as well with universities. So have you ever seen anybody do it from sort of 3 years all the way through to university yet? Or is there still somebody out there that needs to do this?
Well, I think these schools are mostly for the embassy staff kids, for example, because usually, for example, if you're a counselor, they migrate like each 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So basically you need to be sure that, for example, if I relocate to this country, I can simply follow the same curricula.
Exactly.
So that's why it makes a lot of sense if you, for example, apply for some school which has branches in different cities as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned one, was it QIC, I think you said?
QS.
Where else do they have locations, if you know?
Like they had like literally everywhere in the world, like from China to Balkan, Slovakia, France. Everywhere.
So if somebody was to start, as you said, let's say in the 6th year, they did 2 years and they have to move, it will be quite easy for them to transition.
Yeah, so I also would like to point to some interesting projects, because maybe there are also some local projects, especially for the secondary school. The school, it's private school, boarding school, it's called Live Academy.
Oh, okay.
So this is like kind of the local initiative, not only for the international students. Basically, any school can be attended also by the Slovak
locals,
citizen kid, but usually it's not maybe that usual. But these schools, like these international schools, they also publish the admission rates for the universities abroad. So usually they have like admission rates like 95 to 99%.
Okay.
Of the admission rates, but like there's one special secondary school that I want to mention, which is Live Academy, because it's like not standard like secondary school, but they also teach how like they give you the lectures on the leaderships, personal development, running the business. Also, like they provide the like dorm for the students.
Yep.
So here, for example, you pay 18,900 without accommodation, or 24,900 with accommodation. I know they also provide some scholarships for the students. So if someone would like to cannot afford maybe the full amount, still can apply for the scholarship, because this is kind of the local initiative that can help students to start their career, to boost their career, and then maybe get better chances to get admitted for the dream university.
And what's the location of this academy?
Like this is located in Bratislava. Basically, in Košice there are like just two schools. One is International School of Košice, and second is then Košice Splash School. Sorry. So in Bratislava definitely are more options to expect or to check.
Sounds good. And I think I like the idea that there's a dorm situation there as well, so it caters for everyone. You have some schools that are a bit more traditional, let's say, go into school and come back, but now you have a boarding school there as well, so it's covering all the bases. And I think depending on what families are looking for with their own lifestyle and that for their kids, there's a lot of options here in Slovakia. And even, you know, you mentioned French speaking, German speaking schools as well. I think it's only growing in the right direction, so it's a great place for people to come over to study, not only in the university level but all the way through down to kindergarten. So Peter, that's amazing, man. You've really covered everything today.
Yeah, so this video was also done because sometimes I'm contacted by the parents who have already kids and they are thinking to relocate to Slovakia. So basically you can get idea like how much would that be to relocate with the full family.
Yeah.
Unless like the kids can learn also the Slovak language, which is like not that easy. So just to give you idea, these are the options. If you have any question, just feel free to approach us and I can hopefully give you the guidance.
He always does. Thanks very much, Peter. Really appreciate it.